Ride the Tide Sports Podcast is brought to you by Vegas Sports Advantage.
Welcome to VegasSportsAdvantage.com, the website where you can win with us. It doesn't matter if your favorite team is playing.
It doesn't matter what you think.
What matters is which team has the best odds to win. Our MIT team has had a winning record every year for the past 15 years. This gives us the confidence to guarantee all of our packages. We have the highest verified record. Don't miss out. Get in the game. It doesn't matter which sport it is.
It doesn't matter what you
Win with Vegas Sports Advantage. Go to VegasSportsAdvantage.com to start winning today.
Fellas.
Welcome to Ride the Tide Sports Podcast, episode 23. My name is Tycho. I'm with Snoop, Luke, and Mick Dilly here. And we're ready to talk about some sports today. But starting off, we're going to start off with Vegas Sports Advantage. You guys saw the intro here. Vegas Sports Advantage, our proud affiliate. Make sure you guys hop on the Vegas Sports Advantage train. Football season is here. It is upon us. And it is time to hop on Vegas Sports Advantage to get the edge in all those NFL picks coming up. And you want to win like we want to win, join the Vegas Sports Advantage team today. But without further ado, let's get into today's podcast. So, Taylor, Michigan,
Just
as of about 30 minutes ago,
Yep.
the 2021 Little League World Series champions. I mean, good job, boys.
Absolutely great job. So that's a clap and a half.
All right, now I'm going to unmute Dylan.
That's what I love. When I say a whole fucking statement, realize that my mic has been completely muted.
Well, I realized that it wasn't muted during the intro, and
So
it needed to be, so I forgot. I'm not going to lie. But now you're back. So your statement, please.
I said it was the first College World Series that Michigan has won.
College World Series.
I have to no, because listen, you.
They're 12.
This is Little Leagues.
I said 5 different statements in that time, so now I have to go back and say everything just really quick because you didn't hear anything. I said it was the first Michigan Little League World Series won since 1959. I also corrected you when you said Taylor, Michigan. It's not Taylor, Michigan. It's Taylor North from Michigan. And then also, those are the only 2 things that I said. And then I also just said it was an unbelievable game. That was the last thing I said. Also, if you don't know
Taylor
where they are,
North
they're right by
from
Detroit.
Michigan.
They're right outside of Detroit. That's what they said on ESPN.
Okay. Taylor North from Michigan. I guess.
Whoa.
Correct.
2021
Well,
Little
They're
League World
champions
Series
anyways.
The
Right.
kid, I mean, Ohio, I will say it feels good to win a Little League World Series, obviously. It feels amazing. Something about beating Ohio to do it, it felt a little bit better. I don't know why.
Beating Ohio in anything makes it better.
Right, exactly. It was
Absolutely.
I agree
not because they're a
110%.
big name, but just because, as a Michigan native.
Yeah, it's just Ohio. It is what it is.
Another L for Ohio.
But also, in other things happening today, Paul and Woodley is tonight. And I know Luke's got some stuff to spill on this because the presser the other day got a little heated when there was some talk about Woodley's mother in the press
Yes.
conference.
Yes.
Luke, the floor is yours.
Yeah.
Well, basically, Woodley is probably going to try to smoke this guy in the ring now, and it's just not a fight. He's going to try and smoke him because he can take all the disrespect in the world that comes to him, but if it goes anywhere near his mother, oh, that's another. You fucked up basically. You shouldn't have gone there, because Woodley, not only just him, you got to watch out for everybody in the UFC, because that's like the UFC's mother right there. And everyone's gonna have their back, and everyone's gonna get in your face. You're trying to sign your own death contract right there, like, and you probably just gave Woodley the motivation he actually needed to get back into the fight game and actually start smoking motherfuckers again.
And what sucks is it wasn't even Jake. Jake did not say a damn word. It was a man that was in his crew wearing one of his, Team Jake Paul jackets that was, saying the dumb shit. So. Yes, now everything that you said is correct.
Yeah, but
Jake Paul is put in the position that he is put in now, but also he didn't even say that directly. So his buddy's trying to get him hurt. Low key, here's what I think happened. Dude who said the thing about his mom threw on Tyron Woodley. He realized, Jake, he saw Jake training. He's like, you know what? Jake might have a shot. Nah. Right now, after what has been locked in, the mindset that Tyron's at, he's going to kill him. Crazy statement. But hey.
Very crazy.
That's what I'm here for.
That is what you're here for. I can say that for sure.
But imagine, that'd be hilarious.
That's
he posted some shit on Twitter after the fight, like he won AK.
Some people would consider that a pretty far reach.
I don't think Slenderman can stretch as far as Dylan's stretching right now.
Yes,
but
honestly.
Okay. But
not even a
okay, Dylan. No, like we'll let it be. Like it's fine.
Okay,
it's all right. It's fine.
Oh,
I got Woodley tonight. Money line and knockout.
Yeah.
And we're gonna move on to NFL news now. Because I don't know. We're gonna move on.
Yeah, we're just gonna move on.
NFL news now. I gotta do it. Fantasy football draft results.
Perfect.
So the draft was last night. Me and Luke were slump daddy mixed sauce cheese because we went out to the bars and ended up asleep. So that was absolutely awesome. So that it is what it is. You can pretty much take the $125 bar tab and figure out how the draft went. And so
I'll be honest, halfway through the draft, me and Jesse, or the Wanderer now, I guess he is.
Yes, the Wanderer.
We FaceTimed the whole draft, and at some point we came to the consensus that you guys were at the bar and you made some kind of bet of like, hey, if you down this whole beer in this amount of times or something like that, you have to go on auto pick the whole draft. And then one of you were like, all right, if you do it, I'll do it. And you guys made some sort of drinking bet, and then you had to be on auto draft. That's what we thought happened.
I wish it was that complicated. I wish it was that
It
complicated,
was
but
just
it
as
wasn't.
complicated.
It was not that
You
complicated.
didn't know the whole time you were just slumped.
Yeah, 100%.
From the beginning of end to
a
draft,
slight comment
none of us got it.
from
Neither
Brad
of us
Lusky.
got a call.
Brad Lusky here thinks he'll be winning the ship.
Ain't winning shit, Brad. You ain't even winning the division.
All I'm saying is whoever ends up below me on the rankings about to get the boot out of the league because they're trash. That's all I'm saying.
I'll start, I guess, because of the three, I was the only one who, drafted present.
Yeah, please.
I will say that I am very happy with how my draft went. I got Josh Allen.
Good 8-man draft.
I got Josh Allen, who is a top 5 quarterback in the league. I have Travis Kelce, who was arguably the best tight end in the leagues. Stephon Diggs, who last year led in fantasy points per reception, like weekly. You know what I'm trying to say for wide receivers?
Yeah, PPR.
Yeah, he led. Yeah, exactly. And then the only thing that I'm iffy about is my running back situation, because I do have Josh Jacobs and Myles Gaskin, who are both starting running backs. But
there it is.
Who don't you have?
There it is.
They're not any big names, but Overall, I'm feeling pretty solid about how my things are going. I just made a trade with Ty right here because when this man woke up, he realized his QB that was drafted by choice was Joe Burrow. So gave him Ryan Tannehill for Amari Cooper and Juju. So
I mean, I just happen to have all the wide receivers, so
Yeah.
Auto draft did me well with wide receivers, but I mean, with everything else, it was.
I literally picked my auto draft pick at the bottom of the fucking bucket.
Can I ask you, because I just want to know
it.
this, and I wanted to ask this question last night, but then I knew it would be so much better to ask it live on the podcast. What was your reaction, Luke, when you first opened your phone and just saw your lineup for the first time?
Wanting a redraft because I'm not going to win a single game this season.
You got
I was there. I was there. That's exactly what happened.
All I have is Dak. I mean, I'm going to get a pretty solid RB1 if he stays healthy.
Yeah,
that's true. You had J.K.
And you have in Montgomery too. He's a solid RB1.
I have to use 2 players to beat teams that are stacked with stars in the starting lineup to the point where they have stars on their bench.
Remember when you had Odell Beckham Jr. and he was a star and he got 2 points a week? It don't matter.
That was good.
Well, but that was
also Chase Claypool
Odell,
last year.
Odell's a special.
Wasn't
situation.
a star, but he was getting like 40 fantasy points.
Same thing with Jefferson. No one had him.
All of a sudden,
up and it was going crazy.
My starting lineup is teams' benches.
Brad said, "Send a trade, Luke."
Send a trade, Luke. You heard the man right after the pod. Send a trade.
And your first on waivers.
Yeah, that too. So get on it.
Okay,
in actual NFL news regarding not our podcast or our podcast league, Sony Michel to the Rams, who, by the way, made it to my auto drafted team. Thank you very much. Because I feel like Sony Michel on the Rams is a good thing for the Rams and a good thing for Michel because I feel like he's going to split touches with Henderson. Obviously, Henderson is not a clear-cut RB1 in LA because of the fact that they keep getting people to kind of not replace him, but take more of the workload when it comes to touches because he's more of a receiving back.
They don't trust him with full responsibility being RB1. And I just want to cut you off.
And it's clear. It's very clear.
A prime example being last year when they were in the situation with Akers or whatever. It wasn't just Henderson that was playing. I believe he was splitting touches with Malcolm Brown. So
he was splitting with Malcolm Brown.
He's always splitting with somebody. It seems.
Yep, because I remember a few times when I think I had Henderson last year. I'm not positive. I know I had one of the two of them.
No, you had Malcolm Brown.
I had one of the two. Okay, yeah, and I remember that I was like, damn, like I got the 2. Like he's probably not gonna get the touches this game, and I wouldn't play him. And then he'd get like 2 touchdowns with only like 10 yards, but like he'd get the big, the big points.
He would play more in the red zone. So like he wouldn't do anything for the drive, but then when they needed to punch the ball in, they would give it to Malcolm Brown. So
exactly.
I think that if that is how it's going, and we know that Sony Michel, when on the Patriots, he was that 1, 2, 3 yards in, you're giving it to Sony. I think
because he doesn't fumble it as often as the other guys. So he's just give it to me, let me go down, tuck my head, and charge.
That's just another veteran weapon for the Rams offense.
Exactly. And I think he can definitely perform well on the Rams if they are able to open up the passing game with Matthew Stafford and the guys they have there. That his running game can only benefit from that. Right. And then they have Henderson for when they want.
Right. Now I was going to say, and keep in mind,
screen passes and such.
I mean, yeah. Forget what I was just about to say. Scratch that. Move on. I was about to say something real dumb. I was about to say something about Cam Akers, and he plays for the Chargers. Right. I almost slipped up.
Hold up. I just want to give a huge shout out to my auto pick for drafting this player we're about to talk about.
He took ETN and your auto drafted J.K. Dobbins. And they're both out for the fucking season.
Yeah, you don't say. You wonder why I want to redraft. It'd be different if I picked these players.
So unlucky.
Right? Why did they even leave him as an option?
Like, I don't get that.
Yeah, I didn't even know why he was on the board.
Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense. But anyways, Etienne out for the season with a Liz front fracture in his foot. This is really tough for Lawrence and for Jacksonville. They were going to have a really good tandem going there with the two of them, I think. And this is really, really bad for them. And I mean, what do you guys think?
I want to know if you think that Robinson is going to have. So last year, you could say he had a pretty decent year, right?
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, as RB1, yeah. So my question to you is, do you think that – I think two things are going to happen. I think he is going to have a mediocre season, or I think he's going to have another above-average expected season. So I want to know where you stand on that scale of what you think is going to happen, more likely or not this year.
Isn't he
I can see him have another year just like that.
Isn't he what, Luke?
undrafted? I thought I saw something where he was
undrafted. No, he's on Jacksonville.
I know, but he was undrafted.
That doesn't mean.
What do you mean undrafted?
You know,
was he drafted?
You can make it.
Did he get drafted into the league, or was he undrafted? Is this new to you?
Drafted.
I thought he was talking about fantasy football for a second, and then that's why I got confused.
Oh no!
I thought he meant
real life draft,
buddy. League, and I was like, what?
It'd be ridiculous if he didn't
get
drafted in fantasy.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I read he wasn't drafted.
If he is undrafted, I honestly like that story
and then
better.
He took over and did some monster things as an undrafted running back last year. I think he might carry it over this year.
Yeah, so you both like it. His chances of performing well. I agree.
Definitely.
I'm with you on there. I think that it's hard for me to see more of a decline than an uprise. But
the Jaguars trade Minshew to Philadelphia for a 2022 sixth round pick.
AKA
Minshew was acquired for depth, and that's the only way to put it. He's the third quarterback now on that team, and it reasonably enough because Philadelphia has had their fair share of oh my god, there goes another quarterback in the recent history. That's just. Yeah. Philadelphia quarterbacks get injured. I don't know why. I can't tell you.
I don't know the last time I've seen the trade like that was very headline, like a SportsCenter tweet type of trade where the quarterback that was being traded, it's not like you got a new backup. You have a new QB3. You have a new backup to the backup. So I think that's really interesting. That's even a headline. I think that the way that this is being set up, it has high potential for us to have already seen the best of Gardner Minshew. And I hate saying that, but from how it's looking, it looks like the best might have already been, past this. So
that would be sad.
But you know what I mean? Like now he's
shined for a very short time.
So hopefully he's not on Philly for long because if he's there, and he stays QB3, then he doesn't even have a chance to do anything special unless they're in preseason.
Right. And I mean, honestly, let's be real here. Philly's prone to quarterback injuries, so there's a good chance that he finds his way to the field at some point.
That's all he's really got to hope for right now if he wants some playing time.
And Flacco is old.
Flacco, I don't really – okay, let me ask you real quick.
Like he might –
Would you put in Flacco over Minshew as your backup?
Probably not.
I wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. I feel like he would be the backup.
I don't think so.
Season.
Huh?
I don't think so.
How he played last season.
Flacco or Minshew? Which one?
Minshew.
Oh, well, they both kind of played fucking horrible, I'll be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
They were both really bad.
Of the starting quarterback news we got here, Teddy Bridgewater has been named the starter over Drew Lock. Drew Lock was very humble about this. He said that it kind of put things into perspective for him. So that's what kind of really what you want to hear from a team that has two quarterbacks that could, either one could be the starter. I think that's definitely like what you want to hear from the other guy that doesn't get the spot. And I definitely think that Drew Lock will be ready. I think that Bridgewater being named the starter over Drew Lock is a good decision for Denver. I think it's the right decision. And I think that their team will benefit from this in the future.
I mean, I think that if Teddy Bridgewater, this is more of a want than I think a suggestion, I'll be honest. If he stays healthy all year, I believe he should be able to play every game in that starting role. because what we saw from him in Carolina, it wasn't the Teddy Bridgewater that we saw before, who was, hucking the ball way down the field and, trying to pull off these crazy plays that he was previously on Minnesota. It was more of a Teddy Bridgewater where it was almost like a Cam Newton type of, he'll find the slants, he'll find the short passes to Robby Anderson. And mostly we saw him run a lot last year. And I know there were a lot of plays where he would be a yard short to a first down and he would dive head first, and he's a real big team guy. And I think that he's a great leader. And I think that the way he's playing right now, I really, really like it. And I agree with you 1,000%. I think it's the right decision for Denver. But
Luke?
I think that Drew Lock, he's oh, my bad.
Go, Dylan. Dylan, you got more to say?
Go, Luke.
Finish your whole thought.
Luke, go. Luke, go. It's not important. Luke, go.
What about Drew Lock, Dylan?
What about Drew Lock?
Drew Lock is that it's going to be good for him to get more backup time, and hopefully he can learn from this. But go, Luke.
I think this might be the push that Lock needs to finally kick out those kinks to make him an actual really good quarterback, because I feel like he can be a pretty good quarterback when he really wants to be, but there's so many times where
he's had his moments,
or he has to make that late game push in there to pull off something.
Right.
But if he can use this to drive him to get his full game grasped and actually play a full football game worth of that type of drive instead of just saving it to try and come back, might be good for him in the future.
Oh yeah. But then staying on the news of starting QBs, we have another one over in New Orleans. Now this one is a little less shocking. After our last podcast, we were covering how it was looking like this was going to be the decision, and it is. So the New Orleans Saints have announced that Jameis Winston has been named the starter. And I will say, from the last preseason game I saw, don't know if you peeped, but there were 2 touchdown passes that were a good 30, 40 yards on the money. Unbelievable catches, unbelievable plays, and he was.
Oh yeah, well, great catches.
Great.
Credit to the wide receiver.
Amazing
I forget his
catches.
last name, but
yes,
the guy made 2 incredible catches.
Well,
but the passes were perfectly placed in order for him to make those catches.
Yeah, see,
and for the defensive backs not to touch the ball.
Yeah, no, exactly, because his issue wasn't really getting the ball down the field; it was keeping it out of the defender's hands.
Exactly.
we all knew from the past that Jameis Winston can huck the ball. And he does huck the ball a lot. But the problem was he was, he's throwing 30 touchdowns, but he's throwing 30 interceptions right next to it. So, it wasn't really doing justice when the game was 55-55 with a minute left and the other team had the ball.
Yeah, and Taysom Hill can go back to tight end / wide receiver / utility, everything.
/ quarterback, yeah. Basically everything. So.
Well,
so good.
A while ago on one of our previous podcasts, we talked about it. Who we thought was gonna be the starter? I knew I said Winston.
Right. I think we all said Winston. Yeah, that's what I was saying before.
All did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's good to see that we are not a bunch of idiots.
Right. I was gonna say I think we all saw it being a role of
it'd be kind of dumb if they kind of put Hill in there over Winston.
Yeah, you can use Taysom Hill in other positions, whereas Jameis Winston, that's QB and QB only.
Yeah, but then see if you make Hill the starter, regardless, you're going to use him in those other positions, even if he is your starting quarterback. So the backup quarterback in New Orleans is going to play regardless.
That is true.
But moving on, Robby Anderson signs a 2-year, damn near $30 million extension in Carolina.
Wow.
I think it's great for Carolina. I'm glad he likes it there. I hope that they get better. I hope McCaffrey's healthy all year. That'll definitely help them because that means I don't have to only throw the ball. Because when Carolina's throwing the ball, it's a lot easier to take the ball away from them. So hopefully Christian McCaffrey can stay healthy this year in order for them to benefit. And I think that Robby Anderson is really happy there. And I'm glad that they got him back. So
I'm going to make a statement. If Carolina stays healthy this year, they got a strong potential to win 9-10 games, and
I'd say 8.
I could see them going.
I'd say 8 or 9,
Well, they don't go
maybe
9 and
maybe
7 now,
contend
right?
for a wild card spot. Maybe.
It'd be 9 and 8, right? Not 9
Contend
and
for the
7.
It's
wild
18
card spot
games
if
this year.
McCaffrey
So now
stays
they,
healthy the
okay, so
entire
it'd be
season.
9 and 7, 9 and 8. Okay, I could see that. Yeah, 9 and 8, 8 and 9. I'll be honest.
They can make a wild card spot if McCaffrey stays healthy.
Damn.
Yeah.
McCaffrey's got to stay healthy, though. We know that
He is their hit or miss for playoffs.
for sure.
And then in the town of New England, also known as Boston, the Patriots have problems with Cam Newton. There's been some COVID protocol issues with your boy Cam Newton, and this might be the shot for the rookie quarterback to step in and assume position and take that role from Cam Newton. I personally think Cam Newton stays a starter for week 1, week 2, and so on until something bad happens. If something bad happens, and then they switch it completely, and then Belichick goes back to the Brady mechanism where he just does what he wants to do with that system when the quarterback doesn't move as much. I know Mac Jones can move more than Brady could, but you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
I see Cam Newton being on a really short leash. I see it almost being like he could be going out there, game 1, let's say he throws 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Okay. If he comes out game 2, starts off his first 2 drives, pick, Bill isn't going to hesitate to yank him in terms of if he has one game and game 2 he starts off bad. I think it doesn't matter how many the games he's playing well. I think the leash is still going to just stay short because you have Mac Jones and Bill, whether you want to admit it or not, he's excited to just use Mac Jones in that lineup again because he sees him as his next system QB. So it's half of him being eager, I think, to use Mac, and also half of Cam being on a short leash, which could cause Mac to come in a lot sooner than people do expect.
Okay, definitely a hot take because I think that I don't think that it's going to be too short of a leash, considering that they have they have a year under his belt with Cam Newton. They know he's not going to go out there week 1 and throw 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. He might rush for 1. He might complete 15 to 20 passes, if that. But I don't know. I don't think Cam Newton's going to be throwing for 300 plus yards in many games this year, if any, because I just don't think that's what he does anymore. He's not really throwing bombs, and I still don't think that they don't have the receivers for him to do that. I mean, they have receivers, but they don't have the guys that he's just hucking it and knowing that they're going to win the 1-on-1, 2-on-1 catches.
Yeah.
So I personally think if Mac Jones comes in, it would be to start a game, and it would be after Cam Newton loses that game, because I don't think that they would put him in at halftime unless it was an absolute blowout.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's going to yank him in the middle of the first quarter, middle of the second quarter, something like that. I think it would, if he did it, it would be at halftime or the next game, and then you would see the rookie. So I just don't think that, I think if they're going to take the L, they're going to be like, all right, they're going to pull him. I can see them pulling Cam aside at halftime. Yeah. Listen, bud, you mess this up right now, you're not starting next game.
See,
so
I don't.
You have the rest of this game.
I don't see that
because they're not going to make the play. They're not going to win a Super Bowl, and I think they know that. So, what do you have to lose at that point? They're not winning a Super Bowl. It's very clear.
Yeah, you got to go more for development.
Exactly. And then if that in that case, if you're going to get rid of Cam Newton after this year or whatever, he still needs to be able to have a job next year. So he's still got to prove himself. So if you are going to take him out, let him finish that game. Let him either end his own career right then and there or prove himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understood all of that.
Cool beans. Did we lose Luke? We'll see if he can figure that out for a second. We'll see about that. Miami's front runners for Deshaun Watson.
Yes.
How do we feel about this, Noah?
They are. So I think that the big reason why I enjoy this.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what happened to you there. You kind of cut out.
I got deleted.
Cut out real bad. So I was like, all right, we'll figure that out.
I heard you talk, then it just got slower, and I'm like, oh. Then the screens went black, and I'm like, here we
Dylan?
go.
The fact that Watson is finally in trade rumors, and there's finally teams. That's all I've been, just waiting for the past couple months, because there was, all these teams, and it went away for a while. But now it's back, and I think that it's really actually close to a deal, in terms of like a lot before was a lot of talks, but there wasn't deals being made, just offers on the table and shit. I think that this is the closest we actually have to Deshaun getting signed. As for Miami,
traded.
I apologize.
He's on the Texans.
Right. As for Miami, I think this is an extremely big W. I don't think Tua is that guy right now. I think he's a good QB, but I don't think he's that great QB. Whereas if you have Deshaun Watson on that team, he's one of those players like we saw in Houston last year. He does make, not saying that he's going to make the team amazing, but he does make better people. He does make people around him better. Sorry. So I absolutely would love this for Miami. I think that it would benefit Houston getting him out of there because he's not happy there. Benefits Deshaun because he's out of there and he gets to go to Miami. And it benefits the Dolphins because they're getting Deshaun Watson. Win.
And then I think even the Dolphins, you can trade Tua for either really good draft picks next year or, try to go for another star player or a team that needs a new quarterback. And then with that being said, with Miami being front runners for Watson, I do not believe we've talked about Tyrod Taylor being the starting quarterback for the Houston Texans.
I don't think we did.
No, we did not.
So can I get some opinions on that? How do we feel about that?
The Houston Texans are going to be the rebuilds team of the league. If you don't know what that means, the Jets were it last year. Same with the Jags. You're pretty much going to get not more than 3-4 wins expected. And Tyrod Taylor, and I feel like this is a weird thing to say, but he is a good rebuild quarterback. Because when Tyrod Taylor goes out on the field, nobody's expecting him to go crazy. But a lot of people forget that he's a decent quarterback. He's a veteran. He's been around a long time. He's been to multiple different teams. And he's never had a bad year. Because, you know what I mean? He's more of like...
Well, that's because he doesn't set his bar too high.
What?
You compare him to a lot of other quarterbacks, he's not that good. So he has a lot of bad years. But he doesn't set his own personal bar of what you expect from him very high. So
exactly.
he can consistently average. So, yeah, I can agree with that.
I look at him like Andy Dalton now. Like, if a team's having a rebuild and we need a QB, same with, like, Joe Flacco, and it's like, we need somebody just to kind of be there right now. He's a good guy to be there right now.
Exactly.
Like a placeholder QB.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
So, moving on to some NHL news. Speaking of people that you want to see move, Jack Eichel has fired his agents, and he now has new agents. So, maybe, just maybe... Just freaking maybe he's
just
leaving.
Hopefully. Fuck that.
Maybe.
Just hopefully.
It's always a maybe though because it's him.
We might finally be getting the trade everybody in the league wants.
People who don't
except
want
for
hockey
Buffalo
to get Jack
management.
Eichel out of Buffalo. Come on now. It's
everybody in
bad.
the world and the league wants this trade except the Buffalo management.
Yeah, that's I don't know why it can't happen.
Just like get him out of there, Buffalo. Just work with us. Come on.
But because he has new agents, we can expect to maybe see some changes coming very soon. If not, maybe a temper tantrum. So we'll find out. Philadelphia has signed Coots to an 8-year, $62 million deal. And on the other side of things, the Hurricanes have signed Svechnikov to an 8-year, $62 million deal. Both guys getting $7.75 million annual average salary. But they're signed to the exact same $1 million deal. I like the deal better for Svechnikov, in my opinion. I think he's
Hell
going to
yeah.
play more of a key role there than Coots will in Philly, but time will tell.
Coots is a
But-
dog, but he's just been doing it for so long, whereas Svechnikov is just coming up, where I think there's more promise on him right now.
Yeah.
And so I believe Svechnikov's, 20, 21 years old, so they have him until
he's
he's
really
28, 29.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good move there by the Hurricanes, and I'm pissed to say that they will continue to be a problem for probably the next 8 to 10 years.
Before we move off
Why?
of hockey,
What? Because
Why are you pissed to say that?
because I'm a Red Wings fan. What the?
Yeah, but I like Carolina.
And they're not the Red Wings.
Carolina's cool.
I have to explain myself to a
not
freaking
the
Detroit
least of
fan
the
about why I'm not a. All
just
right.
because they're no.
Do we have to end the pod now? This is getting ridiculous over here.
I don't understand what
I'll-
what Carolina's ever done to us.
What every team's done to us? They destroy
Yeah, but
us.
everyone beats us right now.
No,
Okay.
not everyone.
Not Buffalo.
Or else we would have
be
0
buddy
wins
with every
and
team?
82 losses.
That's right. We play Buffalo quite a bit, I think.
See, everyone gets a couple free wins.
Exactly. All right,
Well,
let's
before we move off of hockey, I just want to get your thoughts on this. So Carey Price is opting not to get the vaccine, so he is missing this upcoming season.
Is he done? That sounds like he might be thrown in the towel. He's an old goalie.
He's old too. Yeah.
Yikes.
Yikes. That's
Carey
big
Price
yikes.
not playing this year is a big yikes.
That's a big yikes for the Canadians right there. They thought they were
So-
slick. This is actually karma for lying about the injury and how he was about to be out for a long time. And they're just playing it off like, oh yeah, no, he's done. Okay, he's don't draft him. He's done. Oh, he's fine. He's starting the season. Oh, he's not getting the vaccine now. Now he's not playing for you this season.
Karma has a funny way of getting you, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, that's really tough for the Canadians who,
Bro,
were
they
just
went
going
to
for
the
the
finals
cup.
last year, and now they're not even gonna make playoffs.
That is tough because he single-handedly, in my opinion, other than the sporadic scoring of random guys that I really didn't know the name of, other than Cole Caulfield. Other than that, I mean, he carried them to the Stanley Cup Finals, and then he suddenly ran out of juice.
Even Carey Price's wife thought he was gonna get taken by the Kraken.
Oh yeah. And I'm sure if he went to the Kraken, he
he
would have got
would've
the vaccine. He would have been
100%.
playing. He'd have been like, oh,
100%.
hell yeah. He'd been like, let's go. I got no pressure. It's a brand new team. I'm a chilling. But let's go into some MLB news here. Miguel Cabrera wants to play out his contract. He has 2 years remaining on his contract in Detroit, and he wants to play it out. What, Dylan?
The first
What?
bit of MLB news we're going to talk about is that Miguel Cabrera hit career home run number 500 for Detroit. He did it. He finally did it. Now, it actually only took him, what, week and a half? Not too
too
long.
long.
But yeah,
Mm,
so he
too
went
long.
to
Too
Rogers
long,
Center.
but it could have been so
Too
much
long because he
longer.
waited till he left Detroit, and then he's like, all right, guys, just kidding. I can hit home runs. Ha ha ha. And then he
Went
hit
to the
two. And
He went to the Rogers
What a
Center. He
guy.
hit an opposite field shot. He hit career home run number 500. He
There goes Dylan.
also
yep,
has
we're losing Dylan.
the record.
Hardcore
Bunch of
losing
hits.
Dylan right now.
Yeah.
And I just want
Yeah.
Does he even know?
I agree, Dylan.
we're able to.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yep. All right. No freaking clue what he's saying. No idea. We're gonna. I have no idea what just happened to Dylan there, but I have no idea what he's saying. We like
got
his
deleted
connection
worse than
had
me.
him. Like he got deleted.
Oh, hello, Dylan. Can you hear us?
Can you
Can you
hear
hear
us,
me?
Dylan?
No, he's still bad.
Oh, you went full robot mode,
What the hell happened?
not moving. I don't know. I don't know, man. I was hoping you knew.
Sorry we
You didn't
took
hear
you
any of
off.
that?
No,
No.
it did not. It did not register in anyone's heads, and there was no possible way it could. All right. Well, while Dylan complains about modern technology, the Yankees have activated Kluber onto their active roster, and I think this is huge for the Yankees, who just went on a tear and won a shit ton of games in a
I think
row.
it was 11,
And
it just snapped
yeah,
yesterday or so.
yeah, it was 10. It was 10 or 11 games, but absolutely huge for the Yankees in activating Kluber. Dylan, are you okay?
Their trade
Scared to
deadline
give another take.
paid off.
Okay, I'm scared to give another. Maybe we'll get another take.
I mean, we can say the Yankees trade deadline moves paid off.
Why don't we
Exactly.
give another minute and
Pretty
a half
well,
take,
I
and then
mean.
everyone be like, "What'd you say?" And I'm like, "You didn't hear any of that? Like, it just happened."
You got to pay attention to when it is working and when it isn't working, so that you don't give a
Here's
minute
the
and a half long
problem.
take to no one.
For me, there's not a problem. Not a damn thing happens. I don't even lag. Everything goes smoothly. And then you guys just go, "Dylan?" And I'm like, "What?"
You didn't hear us like sarcastically agreeing with what you were saying while you were lagging.
When you were going right, I was going, okay, like they hear me. Perfect. I was saying that because I thought that meant like, okay,
Not a clue. Let's stop talking about your technical difficulties and move on,
please.
because we have sports stuff to talk about, and I have shit to do tonight. Thank you. Reds first baseman Rhys Hoskins out for the season.
Rhys Hoskins.
I thought Dylan was going to give a take. Go ahead.
It's not a take. It's just his name. You pronounced it wrong.
Well, no, I need a take because I don't know shit about him. Mr. Cincinnati Reds hat. Come on.
Let's go.
You know anything?
Chop.
Hit me.
Rhys Hoskins is sadly
TikTok.
out for the year for the Philadelphia Phillies. He was their big man. Now, Bryce Harper, as you all know, is going on an MVP tear right now. This man might fucking win NL MVP. I'll be honest. So it's going to be between him and Tatis. The main push was him and Hoskins. Now that Hoskins is out, God, I feel so bad for the Phillies. And I didn't think I could feel bad for a Philadelphia sports team, I'll be honest. But it has just been year after year of getting the pieces, and this was finally the year that I honestly felt like shit was going right the past month and a half, and they were going to make a run, dude. And now he's hurt, and it's not going to happen. And, dude, I'm honestly frustrated for them. It sucks. It sucks for the Phillies.
Well,
please tell me you heard all of that.
I heard you call them the Phillies.
Okay.
He's got the hat on. It says it on the screen. Calls them the Phillies.
Yeah, Rhys Hoskins plays for the Phillies. Who's the dumbass that put the Reds on the board? That's Joey Votto. He plays for the Reds.
You sent me this stuff. This is
all
all
from
from
Bleacher
you.
Report. Phillies first baseman Rhys Hoskins out for the season. You put Reds.
All right. Good job,
You
Dylan.
tried to put your fuck up on me.
Well,
Yeah,
all fairness,
because you sent me everything.
All fairness, it was on the screen for a minute, and you just now got to the fact that
Because I was just saying
the team
Phillies.
was wrong.
That as well.
But anyways, it's great to be a Baltimore Oriole fan.
It's
After
really
not.
9
Why would it be
straight
great?
losses,
Really not.
They got the win, and not only did they get the win, they cracked Shohei Ohtani for 3 homers, and then absolutely obliterated them the next day by hitting a grand slam. And now the Orioles cannot be stopped. Fear the birds. They're going crazy.
No one's fearing the birds after 19 straight losses. Just like no one's
19
fearing
straight
the
losses,
backs.
bro. That's gotta hurt the soul after a while. Imagine being a
That
season
is
ticket
not.
holder. God.
I would not be a season ticket holder. Imagine being a season ticket holder for anything in Baltimore that isn't Lamar Jackson.
It's like it's like.
I'm sorry, but it's the Ravens or nothing if you're in Baltimore. I don't
I
know.
was like, yeah, what else even is
It's tough
there?
over there. It's tough over there.
That's true. Close it out with some NBA. Well, almost closing out. So, Jared Dudley, who you may know as a player for the Lakers last year, was moved to the Mavericks just now in the offseason, but not to become a player, but to join the coaching staff and become an assistant coach. And surprisingly, LeBron James was really not upset with it. He went on to social media to just say that he is very happy for Dudley, but most people just won't understand that this honestly sucks. And Dudley said that when he wanted a coaching job, he expected it to be in LA and he would stay there. So I think the understanding was between LeBron and most people in the Lakers organization was Dudley was going to be moved from player to coach, but probably not leaving, relocating at all. So the fact that he got put to the Mavericks was probably a shocker to most, from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I mean, I had no idea it was happening. So,
Right.
Congratulations on him for getting a coaching job.
Yeah, seriously.
I thought he was playing another year. I don't know.
Dudley's old.
That's what I got. I guess he's done. Whatever.
Also, in other news, it was a big 3-team trade, and the two main players that are being talked about is Derrick Jones Jr. going back to the Bulls, and the big one being Lauri Markkanen leaving the Bulls. So, I'm blanking. Please save me. Where did Lauri Markkanen go before I just go to shit? Please save me. Please save me. What team did he go to? One of you.
Oh,
please.
I'm not sorry. Sorry, not Hell, Mexico. I don't know off the top of my head, Dylan. You're Mr. Basketball for us. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Right.
So I'm gonna have to look that
That's
one
why
up.
I'm mad at myself right now.
Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum-bum. You know what that means.
You know what time it is.
You know what time it is, huh? What am I looking for? Where are you? God, Dylan, you send stuff in order.
Just type in Lauri Markkanen.
Cavs and Bulls. Lauri Markkanen signed
Cavs,
a trade.
the
Now
Cavaliers.
includes the Blazers
Yes.
with Larry
Go.
Nance Jr. going to Portland.
Yes. No
There
one's
you
really
go.
caring about that right now. Fuck Larry Nance. So, here's
It's
the
a 3-team trade.
Yeah,
He is
but
also involved.
Larry Nance was only relevant at one point.
People
in his
do
career
care.
because he was on the same team as LeBron when they went to that championship team and got swept by the Warriors. Sorry.
Well, he's relevant right now in this segment that we're talking about.
He is, I guess. Tell me 3
Not
facts
I
about Larry
guess.
Nance Jr.
His first name's Larry. His last name is Nance Jr. And he plays basketball professionally.
I hate you so much. Lauri Markkanen's going to the Cavs. Long story short, it was a good career for Lauri Markkanen. I remember him for a Bull.
Yeah, well, I gave you 3 things and you asked for 3 things, so.
I did. That is true. But Dame, I'll make this one short and sweet because I know Ty's got shit to do. He's not leaving Portland. It's bullshit. He's too loyal. He said at least not for right now. He's not going anywhere. And yeah, that's that.
That's that. All right.
Another news here. Thank God. I thought I was gonna blank. Amani Bates, who in recent news was transferring from going to Michigan State. He was going to go to Michigan State, decided not to because the program's not looking good right now, and decided to join Memphis as the college that he would like to pick. So, big W for Memphis as they get another top recruit on their roster.
Perhaps.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
I think
That's all.
That's all we got for today. That's all we have for today's episode of Ride the Tide Sports Live. If you're watching the fight tonight, I know that we're against Jake Paul. I hope you guys are too. Bang the money line, bang the knockout. I mean, come on.
Let's watch the Blonde Boy get smoked.
Exactly. It's about that time. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter at Ride the Tide 586. Make sure you guys subscribe on YouTube, and we will talk to you guys next weekend, next Saturday. And we got a lot more. It'll probably be a lot more football based as we get into the start of the football season here. It's probably going to be mostly baseball and football coming up. So baseball fans, football fans, tell your friends. It's time to ride the tide, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.